Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on crypto. I hope you're having a great day. So we got a few things to talk about. You've got Tether, which has shed about $7 billion in circulating supply. You have stablecoin DEI. It runs on the Fantom network. That's about all that Fantom has to do with it. But DEI has fallen below its dollar peg for the third straight day. Coinbase has decided to slow down its global expansion. That means global expansion, hiring. They're gonna ease up on that. We'll dig in a bit. Seth Green he's an actor. You've seen him in a few movies. He's had 4 NFTs stolen, and even found somebody that didn't know, unwittingly purchased stolen NFTs. India wants to charge a reverse tax on their citizens that are holding digital assets overseas exchanges. Why not just say you're not allowed to use whatever? We'll get to that. And Robinhood, 3 bites of the apple. We're going to do something. Hey, we're still going to do something. And guess what? We have a little bit more news. And eventually, hey, we did something. Yeah, that's going to be 150,000 people supposedly waiting on their non-custodial wallet waiting list. So let's dig in. Tether is the world's largest stablecoin. Now, Tether in 2018, I don't know if you recall, thanks Nick, in 2018, they dropped, their peg, and they completely imploded. Just went nowhere. Fast forward 4 years later, and they're the number one stablecoin. They say they're audited, but they're not audited in the fashion that, let's say USDC is audited, right? Where you can see it's, basically transparent, asset backed. Tether, we don't know how it's backed. They say that they have money. They just paid out $3 billion, but don't know. So could what happened to Terra happen to Tether again? Highly possible. Hasn't yet. They've so far weathered the storm. So it'll be interesting to see how that continues going forward. Another stablecoin, DEI, that happens to run on the Fantom network, they've lost their peg 3 days ago, and day 3, and they haven't coupled yet. Or at least I haven't seen them couple yet, or recouple to the US dollar. So it's interesting to see how, now governments are scrambling. Oh, we need regulation on stablecoin. You know what? Yeah. Yep. Shocker. I don't know why it's a shocker, but shocker. Be nice if you stepped up and built out a framework on digital assets, set up some guardrails. That would be nice. That'd be cool. So then everybody knows how to play the game, where they can play the game. In the United States, you've got California that's trying to do what I think, the federal government should be doing. And they're, listening to everybody, taking in all of that information to try to figure out how to make it easier for businesses in the digital space to actually to be able to continue working in California. California has 25% of, and I reported about this before, they have 25% of the, Web3 crypto, projects in the United States. 25%. I don't know. They seem to be moving in the right direction. So maybe the U.S. government should take some notes. I said that in the last video too. Seth Green, feel bad for him, man. He had he was hit with a phishing attack, and they were able to get him to kick up 4 NFTs. He realized it, went on Twitter, told people, asked people, hey, do me a favor, don't buy those NFTs. There was one person, obviously unbeknownst to them, that actually bought one of the NFTs that he owned and said, hey, so-and-so, tap me. Let's see if we can work this out. That's pretty cool. I mean, it sucks that he got hit. It sucks that he got hit with a phishing attack. It sucks that he fell for it. But this is why I tell people, understand who you're doing business with. And on that note, I am never going to tell you to work with somebody to manage your crypto. I'm not going to recommend anybody, right? That's just not what I do. So if you see somebody in the comments that's doing that, that's not from me. Drop me a note, and because I try to go in every time I see those kind of comments, and I try to report them and get them off the channel. I can't do it all the time, but I do try to do it. I mean, you might see every now and then there's a long list of comments and everything. Yeah, nah, I don't play, homie, don't play that. We're not going to have people come on here and leave comments talking about, oh, I use so-and-so and they saved me lots of money, or they made me lots of money. Nope. And I hate to say this because, I don't use Telegram. I'm not against Telegram or anything like that, but they all seem to have a Telegram address. I don't know. Elon, maybe go to Telegram and have them fix their bot problem. So that's something to think about. Do your own research. Know who you're dealing with. I'm never going to ask you for your credentials. Maybe I'll ask you to buy a T-shirt. But I'm never going to ask you for your credentials. I'm not going to do some shady shit like that. That's pretty shitty, right? I'm not going to do things like that. I had no time for that. I'm doing what my journey is and teach them some lessons on how to invest. So that's something. Now, ongoing, Coinbase. I do like that company. I do use the wallet from time to time. It's not my number one, right? But I told you before, the way I leverage wallets is I use wallets based on what I need, and I'll get something on Coinbase and I move it off the exchange once I can. Usually a 3 to 7 day wait, depending on what you're trying to do, and that's what I do. Bam, bam, and I'm done. But they're actually going to slow down on their global growth. So it's global expansion they're going to slow down on. They're going to, adjust their trajectory. Something else they're going to do is they're going to slow down in hiring. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? The stock tanked a bit, and not because they don't know what they're doing, but because the market tanked. Okay, let's get that straight. They're more than just an exchange. They do a lot more than that. So I can understand what the take is. I mean, I was listening to somebody today. It was CEO of Goldman Sachs was talking about, his name David Solomon, was talking about how, Coinbase is just a different kind of business. Like he said straight up, I would not be in the custodial business with regard to digital assets. I would not be in the custodial business. But Coinbase is more than just a custodial company. And he likes that company. So I said, and he doesn't have any opinion either way on the market space, but he does feel like, crypto's here to stay. There are certain sectors within crypto that are going to do better than others. That's just fact. So it is what it is. So pay attention. Listen to people. I mean, he's big in the stock market, right? He's doing big business deals. Goldman Sachs has invested a lot of money around the world in Web3 and crypto and all that stuff. They are becoming a part of the connective tissue. Right? So pay attention to what people are saying. So right now, everybody's panicking and I don't know what to... Know what I'm doing? I'm DCAing. Buying in while the market's going lower and seeing how much money I can make on the other side. Just waiting for the other side to happen. What I would say is also pay attention to, pay your taxes. Don't be afraid to pay your taxes. If you're paying taxes, that means you made money. That's how I equate it. That's why I'm all right paying my taxes. There are things that I pay attention to more than others. I gather information from various resources, and I compile my own thoughts about what it is I'm researching at that moment. So I gather different perspectives, and then I come in and make my own decision on something. So I advise you to do the same thing. India, they just can't get out of it. What they should just say, hey, we don't want you to use crypto. And instead of putting up all of these roadblocks where they can snatch money out of your hands, why not just say, we don't want you to use crypto and it's not allowed, period. Bam. They don't want to be the country that does that. So instead, they just put up all these freaking roadblocks. One is basically a reverse tax, right? So if you're holding assets in foreign assets or digital assets in an exchange overseas, they're going to tax you 18% when you try to use those assets. So instead of hitting the supplier, they're hitting you on the receiver of, products and goods and all that good stuff. So every which way you turn in India, you're spending a good amount of money to manage digital assets. Doing digital assets, working with digital assets, investing in digital assets is not an anonymous thing, but I have various kinds of wallets. I have custodial, non-custodial, and cold wallets. So that's what I do. Robinhood, 3 bites of the apple. Look, gotta love it. There's normally 2. I tell you about how companies drop news. Sometimes they drop news talking about what they're going to do, then they drop news that they did it. In this case, you have those 2 steps, and in the middle, Robinhood's come out and said, hey, we haven't done it yet, but we have 150,000 people waiting for our Web3, non-custodial wallet. Cool. All right. How much of a pop are you going to get? They need some positive news. So they worked it out that they're going to do 3 drops, and that's what they're doing. I'm not a big fan of Robinhood at all. Just not, for various reasons. But that's how they're dropping news. And I tell you this so that you can learn the lesson about how companies drop news, whether it be negative or positive. Mostly positive is how they do these things. This is how they maybe have a bad news cycle, and then this is how they would kick off a good news cycle. So pay attention to that stuff and understand what projects are good, what projects are bad, in your eyes, right? In your eyes, right? Something else that's going on today, market tanked. NASDAQ tanked. S&P 500 tanked. Dow Jones tanked. Let's get to the numbers and I'll show you something. This is actually kind of cool, right? This is not cool. This is TVL. I didn't open up Excel. I'm not even going to bother to show you winners and losers because that's not what I'm really talking about today. But total value locked, still at 109. Again, a while ago, not even that long ago, we were at 200. It's halved that in a heartbeat. Fear and greed index. So the past couple of days, we went from 12, 10, 8 back up to 12 again. So people are starting to feel a little bit better about it. For me, I don't really care. My fear index is up there. I have almost no fear about this. I think I'm going to make money, right? I'm DCAing. I'm doing everything that I can do to make money. The idea is that I think there's too much infrastructure being built for crypto. And people are paying attention to cryptocurrencies more than to crypto tech. I'm really into the tech, the utility of the tech, how to maneuver money around the world cheaper, faster, right? How to, hold stored value, how to do fractionalized real estate, how to do authentication and authorization, access. There are a lot of utility things that are going on there. So that's why I like the space. That's why I'm investing in the space. Hello, Stitch. Because Buddy wants to play. Sorry. Let's just get this out of here and he'll be back again. But the idea is to help people, especially my kids, figure out how to think. So the fear and greed index, if you've got a plan, it's good to understand what's going on. But the same way you see the fear all the way over here, look at this. Now come take a look at this. Come take a look at this. Went up, didn't it? After this one, went up, didn't it? Takes a little bit of time, but went up. And look how big that went up. Something that I'm paying attention to is the lack of correlation right now. If you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin's been hovering around 29,000. Interesting, right? The reason why I say so is because there's a band that it's been trading in. You can see it right here. So from about 31,442, if you want to get, the band that it's in right now, you'd probably say about right there. But I'm going to look all the way over here to 25. But your band is starting to form right here. We need a third one to kind of get there, right? But from 3442 down to 29, that's a small band. That's a small band. We were kind of setting up this band, and then it did what it did and went all the way down to 25. But we're in this band for a little while. We're going to go sideways for a while, in my opinion. So it's buying season for me. It's buying season. Now, I say this about this band because, yes, it took a dip today. But guess what? It took a dip today, but it didn't take the dip that the market took, that the stock market took. That is interesting to me. That is very interesting to me. Because it says that there's a near correlation and then there's not a correlation. Right now, I think the stock market is suffering from major issues. There are stocks that took hits that you're just sitting there and just going, it shouldn't have taken that much of a hit. So overselling, panic. People are saying that now that the stock market took a shave, they're looking for the real estate market to take a shave. I was just listening to somebody on CNBC and he said, well, if these things take a shave, doesn't that say recession? And you have a couple of people that are saying we're already in a recession. Raul Paul, he's saying that we're already in a recession. Elon Musk said we're already in a recession, right? Maybe numerically we are. We have inflation. Why? We have inflation because the economy was too hot. There's more demand than supply. So more demand than supply, prices go up. If you can figure out how to cut that demand, not everything that you do to cut demand is a good thing, immediate good thing, but it has good results in the long term. Well, that's how you get that number back down. So if gas prices go up, I heard somebody say that, gas prices are going to hit $6 on average in the United States, on average. $6 on average. So if gas prices hit $6 on average, that's going to cut demand, isn't it? You want me to show up someplace? I can't ride a bike, walk, take a kite, something. I'm not going. That's a lot of money. $6 a gallon? It wasn't that long ago before gas was below $3 on average. Duh. So we're going to need some macro events to change our current trajectory. But with all of that going on, cryptocurrency is maintaining a certain band. Can it take a hit? Yep, it could take another hit and dip. It really can. Not going to hide that. Really can. But it hasn't. Maybe we're going to stay in this band for a little while. I mean, I'm expecting it to dip again. I really am. But then I'm expecting to come back up too. And up big. So I continue to DCA. Right? I have a joke running with my son. He reached out to me the other day and he was like, Dad, we should buy some Luna just as a joke to see what happens. I said we should buy some, Luna and Terra if we can and see what happens. Right? Because Terra was up today. I think it was up like 17% or something like that. So, like I said, Tether had the same thing happen in 2018, and now it's number one 4 years later. It didn't take 4 years to actually become number one, but I'm just saying, as of today, it's number one. Other coins are falling by the wayside. It's still there. Can, UST come back? If they did, it's highly possible they can. And that's a crazy long shot, right? Me and my son just doing it as like a science experiment. Take a couple $100, drop it in, science experiment. So if we can get it. I don't even know if we can get it. Just seems interesting to us, right? Just seems interesting. Sometimes you give yourself a little something so you can learn. And, he's like, $50, we can learn with $50, right? So we might just do that. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. If you like what I'm saying, do me a favor. Hit the like button, right? Give me a thumbs up. I know Stitch would appreciate it. And I would appreciate it. If you really can, I'd really appreciate you subscribing to the channel. And definitely hit the notification bell so you know when I'm dropping another video. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.